Welcome to the 5th episode of Cooking the Books. On this episode we have Marisa Meltzer, and
Hi,
she
Internet.
wrote a book called Hello Internet. We come to you not live from the Cooking the Book studios. Girl Power, the 90s revolution in music. It's a pretty good subtitle.
There was a lot of talk about the subtitle.
What were some of the other potential subtitles?
I think I had some that had feminism, and they were like, not if you want to sell the book. I mean, FSG is a very feminist-friendly place, but you know.
But the buying things community is kind of not.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of about the story of feminism from the 90s to the present, kind of is told through music. That's kind of how I think of it. But I don't think you have to be a feminist to buy the book.
No.
I think you could be anybody and buy the book and enjoy it.
Man, woman, or child. Little babies might enjoy this book.
It's a good way to learn to read.
Marisa, are you a feminist?
Yeah, definitely. I remember identifying as a feminist at like a really young age.
But did you have a moment of feminist awakening?
I don't think so. I mean, I just never think that I wasn't. I had a feminist mom who like volunteered at Planned Parenthood and took me to protests against the Miss California pageant and subscribed to Ms. And I think that I always just I actually have a very distinct memory of like sitting on the countertop and my mom was like cooking and I was like, I don't know, like maybe 4 or something or 5, and being like, Mom, I'm so happy that I'm a girl because girls get to wear pants and dresses.
Wow, your consciousness was like pre-raised or became pre-awakened. Okay, so today we thought that the most 90s food was vegan food, and that
I was a vegan for part of the 90s.
I wasn't, but I was vegetarian for all of the 90s. But vegans have it rough, I realized when I was getting together the ingredients for this recipe, which actually comes from a cookbook featuring a beautiful actress who we also associate very inextricably with the 90s. Anyway, so we're making vegan cupcakes, and then we're going to decorate them with some...
It's where vegan baking and identity politics meet.
Intersect.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that there isn't actually a class that you can take at the new school with.
Oh my! I will happily teach that class.
Where vegan baking and identity politics intersect. Okay, so the first step to making vegan any kind of baked good is you take some soy milk. So I'm adding to the soy milk a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and we're going to let that sit for 5 minutes, and then while that's sitting we're going to combine our dry ingredients in this bowl. Alicia Silverstone recommends that we use half regular flour and half whole wheat pastry flour.
Are we not doing that?
No, of course not. Okay, so half a teaspoon of baking soda, and then for extra leavening, because we don't have any eggs in here to do the leavening, we're also adding a teaspoon of baking powder. Yeah, and so now we're ready to add the rest of the wet ingredients. Safflower oil. Did you know safflower oil is like really expensive? We found that out
I had
today.
no idea.
This thing was like $6.50, but it's what Alicia Silverstone wanted, so that's what we're gonna do.
She starred in the video for Crying. I'm not going to deny her anything.
You can't argue with that.
You can't argue with that. 1/3 of a cup.
That looks about right.
Of safflower oil.
A pinch of sea salt in the wet ingredients, and instead of sugar, Alicia would prefer that we use agave nectar.
I like agave. I use agave.
Can you tell me how much we're gonna put in?
Half a cup.
Okay. The only other thing that we're missing from our wet ingredients is so much vanilla. Do you want to do the honors of dumping our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients?
Well.
were gonna make vegan homemade cake frosting from Alicia Silverstone's cookbook. And then I got kind of lazy and also realized that this stuff, which obviously is disgusting, but obviously also is awesome, is completely vegan because it's made out of sugar and partially hydrogenated soybean and cottonseed oils and a lot of other... You have your reading glasses on.
Citric acid.
Whatever, it's so good. I should say, by the way, that we got some decorating tips from the website cookster.com. After you went to your hippie high school, where did you then go for college?
Well, I went to Reed and I hated it and I transferred to Evergreen in Olympia.
Was everyone the same?
We all look the same and we even fuck the same.
I went to school, Olympia.
Talk a little bit more about these slogans that we're beginning to put onto the cupcakes that we have selected from the index of the book.
You know, I think I saw Riot Girl before I heard it because I saw it in like the pages of Newsweek and Sassy Magazine. And I remember seeing, you know, these girls who were a couple of years older than me with like rape and slut written across their stomachs, and it
really
was like
attention-getting.
It was really attention-getting, and it was I just knew on this sort of visceral level that was something I wanted. I think I always had this kind of like aspiration. I think I still do, to be more bad than I really am.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the word that is on this cupcake. Lady. So by the end of your book, we're not really, we've been through girls with 3 R's, then girls, spelled normally, and we've made it all the way to ladies.
I think that by the end of Riot Girl, the word girl got kind of appropriated by all of these sort of cheesy places, and suddenly there was like girl lip gloss and like
at fairs or something.
Yeah, I think there was like a Met's girl blog or something like that, like it kind of everything. And so girl lost its power and sort of lost its place as sort of
like there would be like a cupcake that says girl.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think it lost its place in kind of like the indie vernacular. And so I think lady kind of took its place in a lot of ways, and there was like Miranda July had this like video chain letter that was for like Lady Made Films, and there was Lady Fest. Started in Olympia. So this was all probably like maybe starting like the mid to late 90s. So there was Lady Fest, and there was just a lot of using ladies. Bitch Magazine, Rachel Fudge wrote a really good story called Girl, You'll Be a Lady Soon. Which had a really good title.
They look beautiful.
They look really good. Good enough to eat.
Which one do you want to eat?
I think we should eat pussy and cunt.
Alright.
Okay.
Oh my god. They're really not that bad. I mean, they're good, actually.
They're surprisingly legit, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I love your book so much.
Aww.
And everyone should buy it. Everyone should buy it. Buy Marisa's book, and maybe enjoy it with a vegan cupcake. Or don't. It's your choice.